Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the third video in my series on how to grow bigger ... We already covered chest and back. This video is going to be on how to grow bigger arms. The first thing that I'll say is if you want to grow any body part at all, you got to start with your diet. You got to start with learning how to grow your entire body. You must learn to eat properly. You must learn to eat enough protein and enough carbohydrates, enough calories. You got to learn how to count your macros, and all those lagging body parts are going to kind of grow together. If you have really noodly arms, skinny arms, just focus on getting your body bigger. With that said, however, there are a few basic tenets that I would adhere to when it comes to growing bigger arms. So first off, triceps are much more important than biceps. I'm sure you've heard this before, but your triceps make up almost 2/3 of your arm. So I know it's really easy to see the biceps, and when you flex your biceps, they just make your arms look so huge from the front, but that's just what you're seeing with your eyes. If you think about the whole perspective of your body from other sides and other angles, the triceps are going to fill out the arms so much more than the biceps are. So when you go to hit arms, if you're going to hit arms on a particular day by themselves, hit triceps first, warm up your triceps first, and try to make the biceps kind of a secondary thought. I'm not saying to not work your biceps hard, but just try to kind of switch those two. If biceps are the part of your arm that you think is more important and you tend to kind of always love to do curls and you're doing all your hammer curls and you just love seeing the pump of the biceps, try to kind of shift that mindset and start with triceps every time you work your arms. Really get the triceps engaged and full of blood first, and then move on to your biceps. I will note that it's easy to injure your elbows when you hit your triceps. Overhead tricep motions are not something you're going to want to start with because it really flexes the elbow a lot more than something like a standing rope pushdown. So when you're warming up your triceps, start with the stuff that is less hard on the elbows and then move into your heavier movements. This is a great way to avoid injury, avoid all those scary things like tendonitis. My second point is that growing any body part is about intensity. There was a video that I watched with Chris Bumstead hitting arms in his last offseason going into the Olympia, and he mentioned how he feels like he just doesn't have the intensity that he should have when it comes to hitting arms. The mental intensity needs to be there when you go into the gym, just the same way as it is with everything else. Now, I think if you are hitting arms on their own, you could probably finish up in 40 minutes. You can go really quick. You don't need those long rest periods. Just remember to keep the intensity, push really hard, try to lift heavy, try to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. That is the only way to grow. And then the third point that I would make would be to not neglect your forearms. This may sound kind of funny, but you might actually have a predisposition for great forearms and not really great upper arms. So genetically, you might just not have it in your triceps and biceps, but you might have amazing forearms and you just don't know because you haven't been working them. So don't neglect your forearms. There are some awesome forearm workouts that I employ here and there. The two that I like the most would be a forearm curl, like a dumbbell forearm curl, or what's called a wrist roll. There is an actual device that's designed for wrist rolls and you can put weights on it and it's perfect for this. However, if your gym doesn't have this device or if you can't find one, there is an easy substitute. You basically just take a barbell and set it about shoulder height on a squat rack. Make sure you put some weight on the opposite side of the side that you're working on because it might actually end up flipping the barbell if you put a lot of weight on. But essentially what you're doing is you just wrap a strap or a band of some kind around the barbell, again, shoulder height, and then you attach weight on the bottom of the band and you basically just reel up the barbell. That's another great way to do a wrist roll. So to start out, eat more, always focus on getting your whole body bigger. Remember that your triceps are more important than your biceps, so start with triceps instead of your biceps when you go to hit your arms, and don't neglect those forearms. I hope you enjoyed the whole playlist. If you missed the other two videos, go back. I'm going to link the playlist at the end of this video, but go back and watch the other two videos on chest and back. I had some really helpful information in those videos as well. If you want to see more of this kind of content, consider subscribing. I post videos every single Friday. I will see you guys next week.